just add then our function with semicolon here. This is what you call function calling. Function calling. Let us see what we'll get. Right, correct. You see, our output sum is 15. Are you beginner programmer or just professional one but still struggling about function in C++ programming language? How to integrate function in C++ programming language so that you can manage your project in a simple way. That's why I developed this lesson. It's all about introduction to function in C++. We are going to learn function in C++ programming language from scratch. We are going to start from definition up to practical activities, where we will see how we can integrate function in C++ program or just C++ project. So that's why if you are in here, please make subscribe, like this video and share it to your colleagues. Also please open the bell so that you can get all notification while we are uploading any new lesson, right? So without spending much more time, let's get started. Yes, as I already said, in this video we are going to learn about function, introduction to function in C++ program, right? As you see, we are going to learn from scratch. We are going to start through definition of function. Then we learn also types of function, syntax of function, function declaration, function definition, function calling, and finally we will do practical exercise about function, right? So what I can tell you is just to watch this video until the end so that you can also see how you can make practical exercise, how you can practice function in C++ program. So let us start by definition. Actually, when you say function in C++, when you say function, it's like block of statement, right? Block of statement. Let us use this comment here to give you explanation. When we say function, what does it mean? Function in C++, it's like block of statement or collection of statement designed to perform specific task, right? Is block of statement, block of statement or just collection of statement designed to perform specific task. Example, for example, you see this simple calculator we use always, or just scientific calculator or just simple calculator. As you see, has different functions. You can make addition, subtraction, division. You can find the sign of given angle, cosine, and so on and so forth. Those are different functions defined to perform those specific operations, right? So this is what you call function, block of statement or just a collection of statement designed to perform a specific task, right? Yes, now I think this is now understandable 100%. Everyone here can define what we call function. When we say function, block of statement designed to perform a specific task, right? So without spending much more time, let us go on types of functions. Actually, there are many two types of functions. There are many types of functions. Two types of function. There is what you call user-defined function and what you call predefined function. Do you understand? When you say predefined function, actually there are some functions which are already defined in library. Those functions are called predefined function. Let us start by predefined function. Predefined function. Those are functions predefined in library, right? Just, and for example here we can say like int main, like a printf, like a scanf in C. You know, get, that function is one in examples of predefined functions. Let us write its definition. In simple word, predefined function is a function predefined in the library, right? In simple word, predefined in library, right? Yes, you know those functions in library. Yeah. Yes, those functions are called predefined functions. We can take examples here. Let us take examples. Here we can take like printf in C program. Printf. This one. Also we can get this one, get, you know, this function is also predefined. Also this main function also is one among predefined functions. Those are functions predefined in library. Also there is another type called user defined function. These are functions created by user, right? Also, for you can just create your own function while you are developing a project, C++ project or other programming language project, right? So those are what called user defined function. User defined function are those functions is a function created by or just defined by user. For example, also you can take example here. Let us take example. We can define function called like add, right? You can take your function and call it add. For example, we can say like add function. You can also take subtraction function. You can rename it like this one. You can call it check function to check something like this one, right? Yeah, you can also create another one. So those functions created by user are called user defined functions, right? So without spending much more time now, after understanding what function means, types of functions, we can now jump on syntax of function. Yes, about syntax of function, it's just simple, right? Just simple. Let me show you how it looks like. Syntax of function. But also, since we are in code editor, let us use here comments. The syntax of function is this one. We write return type, right? Return type. To mean that it's like which type of value or just data that function will return. Yes, this is what we call return type, or can be named as data type. Then after this we write function name like this one. Then also parameter, if any. If there is parameters, write them in parentheses, right? Parameters, if any. Parameters, if are there, then we just here open our function and close it, right? Then we define body of our function. Here should be body of our function. This is body Let's just write this one, body or function. It's enough. Then we also close our function, right? This is the simple syntax of function. It's just a return type or just data type here. Then we followed by function name of function, then parameters if any, right? Then we open our function, we develop our function in the body section, then after also we close our function. I think now is clear, right? So we can jump on function declaration. When we say a function declaration is the stage where function is declared, to declare function, just to show the function, and its data type and also its parameters if any. Let us show you how you make function declaration. Function declaration. Let us see what is function declaration. This is the stage where we define function, give it data type and parameters if any, right? So let me show you how you can make function declaration, but also it's simple. Also nothing is complicated here. It's just to write also return type or data type, just data type or return type, then function name as usual, function name, then also parentheses with parameters if any, right? Then ends with semicolon. This is what's called function declaration, right? Return type or data type, function name, then parentheses. If there is parameters, you write them between these two parentheses, right? So this is how you can make function declaration. I think also it's understandable. If you have any question, please, or doubt, let us know in the comment section. You can help you, right? So without spending much more time, if these concepts are well understandable, let us jump on then function definition. We already done types of function. Also this is already done syntax of function, return type, function name, then parameters if any. We open, develop our function, and then close our function. Then here we also see how to make function declaration. Let us go on this one, function definition. When we say function definition, it's just to define our function. Here how is differ from function declaration. For declaration is just to declare, right? But for the definition is where we develop our function, where actual codes are written, right? Yes. For example here, let me write this one. Sorry, we are on now function definition. Now, how this works. This is where actual function is developed, where actual code of function are written, right? So let me show you example. You can take like example here, simple example. Let us take a function called add, right? You can just write void add. Then as you have seen syntax, we open and close our function. Then in body we develop it like this one by just write its body. You can just, since we are going to make add, let us make declaration of 3 variables. You can just write int x, y, and sum. Our function is designed to print out sum of two numbers, for example, we need also to calculate sum. Our sum should be equal to x plus y. You see, then return or just say out our sum. Say out just sum. Nothing is complicated here. You see, this is our you see, this is how you can define the function, particular function definition, just to develop our function. This is a simple example function for making and displaying sum of two numbers, as you see, right? So I think also if someone asked you to differentiate function declaration and function definition, you can explain them clearly. So this also done. This also done about function definition is where we really develop our function, right? So we do the practical exercise. Don't worry, we do the practical exercise, learn it and see how we'll display an output. Let us now go on another very important called function calling. Here, when you say function calling, consider by two words, function and calling. Here, as you developed the function like this one for addition of two numbers, in order to be executable or to run and produce output should be called. So this is what you call function calling. At this stage is where we call function by using its name so that it can perform that task it is designed to do, right? So to call function, you use its name. Let me show you simple example here. We are now on function calling. This one. Let me show you just a simple function. Is very, very simple but important in his programming language. Function calling, because it helps us to manage our programs easily and the usability of codes. Because when you developed function for addition, you never need to develop it again. You just call it once you need it, right? So function calling, it's all about call function using its name. Example, you can just write, since we already developed function called add, you can just write add like this one. You just write like this one with semicolon. This is what you call function calling. We use its name here, add, to mean that we are calling this function for adding numbers, right? So this is what you call function calling in just simple words. So I think our today's lessons are now completed. 6 lessons, right? If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. So before ending our session, we need also to make this practical exercise. Let us see simple practical exercise to understand all concepts or lessons we learn here. Definition of function, types of functions, syntax of function, function declaration, function definition, and function calling. If you are aware of this concept, you really understand and professional about function in any programming language. Here we are specific in C++, but in any programming language. So let us do this practical activity or practical exercise. Let us call it complete example, where we are going to integrate all concepts learned in this example. Let us define the function for just adding two numbers as already we did. Then we call it in our program so that it can learn and give us an output. Yes, what we are going to do, let me just expand our screen. Let us expand our screen now. Here what we need to do is just to define now. We start with defining our, let me put this statement here, better to put it here like this one. So we need now to define our function, right? First of all, we need to make a declaration of function before defining it. As we have seen, we need first of all function declaration. Let us use void add, then our function. Our function doesn't have any parameter, right? Like this one. This is what we call function declaration, as we have seen. Function declaration. Then we need also to define our function, to develop it, right? Here this void means that our function will return any value, either integers or just decimals. We are not specified which type of value our function will return. That's why we use the void. Void is used when we don't need to specify which kind of data our function will return, right? So after our function declaration, let us make its definition. We develop it, just write void add, then we open our function and close it. As already seen, this is what you call function definition. You see, function definition, like this one. Now we need to make initialization, or just, yes, let us use initialization to make initialization of variables. We need to use data type int x. Let us give it value like a 10, also y value like 5, and also we need variable sum that will hold sum of these two numbers. Then we need also to calculate this sum, which is equal to x plus y. You see, then our function should print out or return sum of these two numbers. Let us write cout sum is equal to just this sum. You see, nothing is complicated here. You just write this sum, then end line, like this one. You see, so this function should be defined outside of this main function, right? Should be defined outside of this main function. So that's why this should be placed here. Should be placed here. This main function should be placed here, right? Because we are still in function development. We never start our program here. This is our just function. Now we are going to use it in program here, in main function here, right? So what we need to do is just to call it function calling. Remember, function calling here we need to write add, just add, then our function with semicolon here. This is what you call function calling. Function calling. What does it mean? To mean that our program should be run from here. You know, only codes in main function are executable, right? To mean that we learn this add. Then once call this add function, it will be called here. It will come here and take these two values, 10 and 5, print its sum, then display its sum in this main method, right? So let us run to check for an output. Let us first of all make comparison to check whether there is some errors, so that you can correct them if are there. But if there is no errors, you can run our program to check output. Fortunately, you see there is no error and our comparison is already succeeded. Let us now run to check for an output. Output should be 15, as you see. Let us see what we get. Right, correct. You see, our output sum is 15. To mean that once you call this function, we will also come back here where it's defined, then take these two values, calculate their sum and display their sum, then output should be displayed in this main function, right? So this is how you can master function in C++ programming language. And as you see, everything is clear now. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. And please, if you are new here, don't miss subscribe and open the bell so that you can get all notification while we are uploading any new lesson. So thank you, see you in the next video.